Hey, what's going on, people out there? This is Chris here with another film review. This time I'm talking about this movie called Strangled. Now, Strangled is from 2016 and it's a Hungarian, I guess you could say, horror crime thriller. And let's talk about Strangled. So, Strangled is set in the 50s and the 60s, the 1950s and the 1960s. And we have this guy. Well, the movie start. I'll tell you a little bit of how it starts off. This guy is he's trying to get with this girl, and he ends up getting framed for her murder, and he ends up like getting locked up, and it's like the movie kind of turns into a who done it of sorts, I guess. But I don't want to, I don't want to spoil the movie because this movie's pretty good and it's very different from what I'm used to seeing. I don't think I've ever seen a Hungarian horror movie or thriller, so this will be my first Hungarian thriller, horror, whatever you want to call it, because it does have like some thriller elements. So yeah, so the movie is almost 2 hours long, and of course, when a movie is that long, it runs the risk of dragging a lot, which this movie did. It's very dialogue driven. There's a lot of talking, so if you don't like that, then you might not like this movie. But there is very good suspense throughout, and um, you kind of want to know, like, what's gonna happen at the end, or you know, like who's the real killer in this. I don't know how else to say it, man. It keeps you watching, but it's very I don't know, it's very weird. It's very confusing, I guess I could say. It has these things where you don't. There's these scenes where you're like, oh, well, I don't. They make you really guess, and then really make you think about what's gonna happen, and it's very engaging, very suspenseful. But yeah, I would have to say it's very long, and you guys know how I feel about these long movies. But yeah, I don't really. I wish this movie would have been shorter. If it would have been shorter, it still would have been just as good. Um, but yeah, the acting was good. I guess I don't know. I don't know like how good the acting is. I'm not Hungarian. But yeah, I thought it was okay, and it keeps you watching, man. It's very atmospheric too. And it kind of gives you a glimpse of how life was in the 50s and 60s, I guess, for Hungary. And even back then, man, serial killers were doing sick stuff, and this movie was also based on a true story. I read it on IMDb, so I mean that makes it even more disturbing, I guess. But yeah, man, there's some brutal kill scenes, and I would definitely watch it if you are into these kind of like movies. It does have some sort of exploitation elements to it too. But yeah, man, it's a good movie to watch. A good movie to rent. I wouldn't necessarily go out and say go buy this movie, but definitely give it a watch, man. I was really surprised, and the only reason why why I chose this movie on my movie app was because I like the cover to this movie. The cover looked pretty sick, and I just said, oh, I'll watch it. And I was pleasantly surprised though. Very good choice. Very good movie if you're looking for something different. So yeah, man, it's set in the 1950s all the way to the 1960s. It's very well done. Maybe there should be more movies like this from Hungary. I don't know. Maybe I should look into it. But I really recommend you guys check it out. So yeah, it's called Strangled from 2016. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.